Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I will add the currency strength meter to my market master indicator. So the first question is, what is a currency strength meter and why do I want to add it to my market master? So the currency strength meter is an indicator that basically tells you how strong every currency pair is. This information is very important when you are trying to decide on which currency pairs you should trade. So on my chart you can see my own version of currency strength meter. This is my own custom indicator and I just want to basically explain the idea on this indicator right here. So there's a lot of numbers here, a lot of things happening, so the only thing I want you to pay attention to are these values in the last column and the first column. Okay, so in the first column you can see that I have basically symbols. Yeah, so you have euro, GBP, yen, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar and franc. And in the last column I have the total strength of these currencies. Okay, so for example euro has a strength of 6.7, GBP has strength of 11.2, yen has a negative strength, therefore weakness of almost 10, yeah, and so on. And I can use basically this information to decide what should I trade. So the idea is that you trade strong pairs with strong currencies with weak currencies. So in this example, I know that GBP is very strong. I know that Japan yen is very weak. So what I want to do is that I want to search for GBP yen, which is right here, open the chart, and I want to open buy positions. Yeah. So why buy positions? Buy positions because GBP is very strong, yen is very weak, and yeah, so that's it. So that's basically how you use this information. And this information, as I said 2 times already, is very important when you want to basically trade the best markets. Another example that I can give you here is that, for example, Australian dollar is also very weak. As we can see, euro is pretty strong. So what I can do is that I can search for combination of basically euro and Australian dollar, which is right here. So when I click on this, yeah, I open the chart and I want to open buy positions here. Why buy positions? As you can see, euro is the first symbol in this pair, therefore Australian dollar is the quoted symbol, and that's why I want to open buy positions. So now that you understand why the currency strength meter is so important, you also understand why I want to add it to the market master. I will add a simplified version of currency strength meter. First of all, this would take a long time to basically code. And the second reason is that you don't need to analyze basically every pair that is created based on main currency pairs. Yeah, you don't need that. You only need to analyze the main currency pairs and that's enough. So let me show you an example of basically how the currency strength meter will look like when I am finished here. So let me just go here and find an example. Okay, so yeah, so what I will do is that I will do something like this. I will create a new indicator which will be in the sub window, and it will have these lines that will basically represent the strength of the currencies. Yeah, so I will have only 7 currencies here, but I think it will be enough. Okay, so I guess let's do it. Also, I think I will divide this video, or not this video, but the currency strength meter section into 2 videos. The reason why, it won't be that simple to basically add it to the market master. It will be a little bit more difficult, so that's why. Okay, so let's start. So this is my market master indicator, and I won't be working here. Yeah, so what I will do now is that I will create a new indicator file. So why can't I work inside the market master? So the reason is pretty simple. As you can see here, the indicator is in sub window. Yeah, it's in like different window, and it's impossible to basically create multiple. Sorry, it's impossible to create or to plot on different windows or charts on the same chart. Yeah, so that's why I have to create a new indicator that will be in the sub window. That indicator will be the currency strength meter, and then I will import this indicator into the market master. So let's do it. So I will create a new custom indicator called market master CSM, and let's click on next, and here I will define my plots. So as I said, the indicator will be in separate window, so I have to check this box, and then I need to add some plots. So this is euro, this is GBP, this is Australian dollar, this is yen, this is New Zealand dollar, this is franc, and I have feeling that I'm missing one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's the Canadian dollar? Yeah. So I'm basically creating a line plot for each of the currencies that I will analyze. So now you might ask a question, why don't I have USD dollar here? So the reason why I don't have USD dollar is that I am basically comparing all of these symbols to the USD dollar. So in order for this to work, I can't add the USD dollar. So I will also change the colors here. I think I can do some random colors since I will be changing that later, I guess. So let's do, for example, this. I don't know, this. For example, this one. Okay, so let's click on finish, and this is what we have so far. So, yeah. So what next? So right now I will create some inputs that I will need later on. So let's create input, and with currency strength meter you usually analyze days. Okay, so for example, in here in my custom indicator you can see that the input is days right here. So this is basically how many days I analyze or I use to analyze the price action. So when I input 7, it means that this basically tells you what's the overall trend over 1 week, yeah, or for the past week. When I, for example, change this to 25, now it checks the overall trend over the last 25 days, and as you can see, it changes. So that's the first input. So input integer days, let's just call it days, and let's input 7 here because this is the default value for the currency strength meter. And then I need also time frame. Okay, so input enum time frames tf, which is equal to period current. So why time frame? So I want to give the user an option to basically choose the time frame he or she wants. So you don't have to be limited only to days. You can, for example, decide that you want to analyze the strength of the currencies for example, 1 hour chart or 15-minute chart or 4-hour chart. Yeah, so that's why I am adding this time frame. And since this is not in days anymore, as I just explained, I will just call this period I will just call this input period. Okay. So now the function will be, I will create basically a function that will analyze the currency pair, and it will return basically the strength of that particular currency. Yeah, so let's do double function here, and let's call this CSM function. It will have one positional argument, which is shift. So shift, as you know, we are working with indicator, therefore we need a shift argument to basically be able to calculate the indicator values for the past historical data. Yeah. So now it's very simple. Now what I have to do is that I have to compare the actual price to the prior price. Yeah, so that's the only thing. So let's do double current price, which is equal to I close symbol time frame, shift is equal to shift, and then I need to compare this with current. Now I have to create previous price, which is I close symbol TF shift plus input period. Okay, so this is my actual price, this is my prior price. So now the only thing I have to do is that I have to calculate the difference. So double difference is equal to current price minus, or let's do like this. So current price divided by the previous price. So let's just check this. So calculator. So for example, if the current price is 100 and the previous price was 80, so this is 100 divided by 80, which tells us that this is the increasement basically, and then we want to do times 100, so this is 125% minus 100, which is 25%. Okay, so that's basically what we will do here. So divided by the previous current or previous, I just forgot what I did here. Oh, I don't have to do this. So times 100 minus 100, and this will basically give me the strength coefficient. So now I will return difference. Okay, so this is like a very simple currency strength meter function. I also have to define one more thing here, which is double multiplier. Okay, and I will return difference times multiplier. So why multiplier? So the multiplier will have two possible values. It will be either +1 or -1. So why -1? Okay, so I will try to explain this as clearly as possible, but yeah, you know that I am not good with explanations, so just have patience with me. Okay, so let me demonstrate this idea on, for example, let me just reset this. Just one second. Yeah, perfect. So now let's check this. Okay, so the overall strength on GBP Australian dollar is negative 2.7. This basically means that there is a downtrend on Australian dollar. But when I click on this, you can see that the chart is in an uptrend. Yeah, so the price is uptrend, but the currency strength meter tells me that this is a downtrend. So why is that? So the reason why this happens is that the GBP is the main currency pair here. Okay, so the GBP is the main currency pair. It's the first currency pair, and the Australian dollar is the second one. So when I open the chart, what I see is basically from the GBP's point of view. Yeah, so the GBP is very strong, therefore the Australian dollar is very weak. So that's why I am basically using these multipliers to change the values to appropriate values. Yeah. So so here in this column or in this value right here, you can see the GBP Australian dollar is exactly the same value as GBP Australian dollar here. The only difference is that this is in positive, this is in negative. When you check the currency pair, which is GBP, you can see that the GBP here is the first one. This is the leading currency, therefore this is in positive. Yeah, and this has to be in negative because this is not the leading currency pair. So that's why I need this multiplier value. So I hope I explained this well. If not, I'm sorry. So now what I have to do is that I have to create a for loop and I have to calculate basically these values for each of the currencies I have. So one more thing, I also of course need the currency or symbol. Okay, so I will just replace this symbol by this symbol. Okay, so now static int I is equal to 1000, for example, and now so for I lower than rates total and I plus plus, I will do this. So now, so euro buffer, it's not that simple. I forgot to do one thing. So I have to calculate the shift. So integer shift. Shift will be equal to I bar shift for the current symbol, time frame, time I, and false. So why do I need to use the bar shift? So the reason is pretty simple. Since I probably will be using different time frames than within the current time frame, I need to use this function to basically calculate the correct shift. Yeah, it's that simple. So now I can call this function. So for example, if I want to do this for euro buffer, so for a euro USD at position I have to call the currency strength meter function for euro USD. Shift is equal to shift right here, and the multiplier is equal to 1. Why 1? Euro USD here is the leading currency, therefore the shift is 1. So when I compile this and I just try to deploy it on a chart, yeah, it doesn't matter that it's not finished yet. I will finish it later. I just want to check if this works. So now does it work? It seems like it doesn't. Yeah, now it works. Okay, so it just needed like to refresh a bit. So now this basically shows you the price action on euro USD for the last seven bars. Yeah. So what I can do here is that I can change this to 1 day. So now it will basically show us the strength for the last 7 days. Yeah, and it looks like this. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is acting funny. Okay, so this is how it should be. Yeah, so now it shows you basically the strength for the last 7 days. It looks like this, and the reason why is that I'm using that shift argument. I will try to fix it later, but now let's just do the rest here. So this is euro buffer, so this will be GBP USD, for example. So this is GBP buffer, and this is so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's just change these. So Australian yen, New Zealand dollar, franc, and Canadian. Okay, so now let's just change these. So this is Australian dollar USD. This is USD yen. This is New Zealand dollar USD. This is, well, I forgot. This is USD franc, I guess so, and this is Canadian USD. I hope so, or is it the other way around? No, I'm not entirely sure. Let me just... the cat USD, okay, it should be okay. It should be alright. So now it looks like this. Yeah, now it basically shows you how strong these currencies are. So based on this, it tells us that the Japan, yen, and Australian dollar. So the yen, oh sorry, I forgot to do one thing. I forgot to change the multipliers. So GBP multiplier 1, Australian dollar multiplier 1, USD yen is multiplier -1, New Zealand dollar is okay, USD franc is also -1, and Canadian dollar is 1. So now it shifts. So now, as you can see, the strongest currency is GBP and the weakest currency is Australian dollar. So when I open, now let's find GBP Australian dollar. I hope I have it here. GBP Australian dollar, we should see strong uptrend, and we do see it. Okay, so by doing this, I can now basically find the best markets to trade. I will do one more thing. I will add the gold as well. Okay, so gold is very popular. I trade gold sometimes as well, so that's why I will add the gold option. And I think it's just appropriate to assign it the gold color, so gold right here. So this is 8888. Let's add one buffer. So this is XAU buffer. Let's add it here. So this is 7 XAU buffer. And now the only thing I have to do is that I have to copy this, paste it here, replace the buffer, and this is... And now we also see the gold, which is, I guess, right here. Now this is euro. Where is the gold? Or, yeah, I have to refresh it, I guess. So let me just open this again. So euro, yen. So now it's appropriate. Perfect. Yeah. So now it's showing us this. Okay. So now you can see that when I basically change it to 1 day, the plot looks like this. And this is gold, and these are currency pairs. So the thing is that we can basically combine gold with currency pairs. We can only use this for like when we want to trade on gold. So strong gold means buy positions, weak gold means sell positions, but we will use this information for currency pairs. So how to change this? So for example, I don't want to see this line of basically bars, bars, not plots. Yeah, so I don't like this line that is just lagging. So for example, on 5-minute time frame, this looks horrendous, as you can see. Yeah, so this doesn't look nice. So what I think I can do is that I can basically calculate the shift, or I can calculate this distance basically based on the current yeah. So let me just think about this for a second. Okay, so I guess I have an idea how to do this. So What I will do is that I will just recalculate the shift to rates total minus I. And I will also... I will do it here. This is basically my shift 2, which will be equal to period seconds, which is equal to period. Okay. I will do this thing right here. Yeah. Perfect. Now it's okay, I guess. Now it should be okay. So what I did here is that I basically calculate the step back. Let's just call it step back. Yeah. So this is basically how many bars should I go back in the current period. Okay. So even when I want to use, for example, 1 day period, I can basically calculate, or I can transform the 1 day to the current period. So how do I do that? So if I know that, so in 1 hour there is 60 minutes, or there are 60 minutes, times 24, so this is for 1 day. Yeah, and now I know that I'm working on 5-minute time frame, so I just divide this by the 5 minute, and I know that in order to calculate this distance for 1 day, I have to go back 288 bars. Okay, and now when I want to calculate for 7 days, I just take this value multiplied by 7, and this is basically the number I need to shift back. Yeah, so this is how I can like transform this. And when I change this to 15 time frame, you can see that like it won't look the same, and the reason I won't go into the reason why. You can see that it looks a little bit different. The reason why is that, yeah, this just happens. So maybe the first option was just better. So let me just do this. Is this going to be the same thing? And I change this to... Yeah, so this is the same thing. Okay, so this is probably more reliable option, even though it doesn't look nice, but like the information we need is the information about the current state of the currencies. Yeah, so I can change this to, for example, 30 days. Yeah, so like it doesn't matter that it doesn't look nice visually. What I need to know is basically what's the strongest and what's the weakest currency. So that's why I think I can leave it like this. If you want to use the other approach that I showed you in this video, you can. I think I will stick with this one because I only need to know that yen is very strong, and for example, New Zealand dollar is very weak. Yeah, so that's the only information I need to know. So there's one more thing I can add. 28 minutes, that's okay. So there's one more thing I will add. So now I want to basically see the strength. Yeah, I need to know basically how strong each of these currencies is. And what I don't want to do is that I don't want to like check it like this every time. So I will create some object on this right side of the window or the chart where I will basically plot the strength values. So let's do this. So I will do it outside the scope. Yeah, because what I want to do is that I want to basically create these objects on the, like, I don't care about these objects in the for loop. Yeah, I only want to display the most recent values. So let's do it. So I will create a function. So create text, and it will have name, text, color. And I think this is enough. Okay, so now what I can do, and also price, and also time, sorry. Just keep watching, I will explain everything. So now, object delete, chart ID is 0, name is name. Now, object create 0, name, object text, subwindow is 1, time is time, price is price, object set integer 0, name, object prop color, object set string 0, name, object prop text, which is equal to text. Okay, so very simple. So now what and this is color right here. No, CLR. Okay. So now what I can do is that I can just call this create text function multiple times. So string, so name is for example euro, text is euro buffered position I, color, so this will be the color that I have for my euro, which is color dark orange. So let's just do this right here. Price is the same as my text, and this is time.I. So let's just check this. Okay, so do I see anything or not? Okay, so why don't I see my text? I hope that everything... Okay, so let me just open this. Indicator currency strength meter. Array out of range 120. And it's right here. Okay, so I'm probably doing... I should do this, I guess. And this is time current. I think this is the... Yeah, so now I can see this, and I will just do normalize double 1. Okay, so now... And I will also do euro plus this. Perfect, so now I can see, like, it's not that clear, yeah, like, but I can see that euro is this value right here. Yeah. Euro. Is this going to work? Because I want to shift this like a little bit. It won't. Okay, so I guess I have to use this thing. That's okay. So now I can do the same thing for the rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is GBP. Now GBP Australian. This is yen. This is New Zealand dollar. This is franc. This is Canadian dollar. This is gold. So let me just do this. And now I just have to replace basically. So this is GBP buffer. This is Australian dollar buffer. This is, sorry, this is yen buffer. This is New Zealand dollar buffer. This is franc buffer. This is Canadian buffer. Sorry. And the last one is gold buffer. Okay. So let's compile this. And yeah, the only thing we need to change is the colors. Okay, so dark. So this is red. Yeah, so now like this is just boring stuff, I know, but I want the indicator to look nice. So dark orange, red, Dodger blue, spring green. Snow. Sandy brown. Okay, so this and this is gold. Okay, so now it should look pretty nice. Perfect, so now it does look nice. So now like we can see straight away what should we trade. Okay, so I still don't like basically this thing that it lags and it doesn't look that nice. So what I will do, or what we can do, is that we can like, for example, say, I don't know, because the thing is that when I do this and when I do this, it's not that precise. Yeah, it changes based on the time frame, which makes sense because like when we divide it, the numbers like won't around the same, so that's why it will be a little bit different. So for example, here you can see that on 1 hour time frame, but this is really strange. So this is 1.8. So the calculation is just yeah, you can see that the numbers are just different, and I guess the reason why is that yeah, it's just not that precise. So I don't know. Maybe I'm making a mistake somewhere, but let's just go with this thing right here. Yeah, like this doesn't look that nice, but at least I know that this is correct. That this is correct. Yeah, okay, so I will leave it like this. Of course, what I can do is that I can like go to the current and then I can calculate. So if there is so this is 4 times 24, which is 96. So if I, for example, do this, so this is 90. Just 1 second. So where is my calculator? So if this is 96 times 7, this is 672. So now basically this will be equal to a week or so, I guess. Yeah, so this is equal to a week because I just calculated the values for my specific time frame. But I guess like you don't want to do that every time, so that's why I think this might be a better option. Yeah. Okay, so does it work? Let's check one more thing. So for example, let's check for example 5 days back. GBP 0.2. So this is, so for example, Australian dollar franc. So we should see that this is down. This is downtrend, which we do. So this is correct. Yeah, this is correct. So in the next video, I will update this indicator, I guess, because I will find some way to make it more visually appealing, and then I will add it to the Market Master. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next part. Bye.